Good morning, lovelies. What if? Let's talk about it. Jesus. Coffee. New mug. Thanks to my mermaid. So let's talk about what ifs. Because I'm sure you and I have asked that question a countless number of times when it comes to a stressful situation. That's a typical response. Hey, what if they don't like me? What if... Good morning, my mermaid. It's my beautiful bride. She may or may not be doing a video with me on Friday, we'll see. So, what if? What if they don't like me? What if they call me a Jesus freak? What if they call me a Bible thumper? What if? It's a pretty common response. Maybe you're asked to do something and that was your response. Don't feel alone. I know I've asked that question a few times when it comes to sharing the gospel and teaching the word. What if? What if they don't leave any comments? What if they don't leave any questions? What if there's no interaction? And may not. Let me share a quick story with you. So imagine this, a very early in his walk, Jim was asked by some friends, a coworker and another mutual friend, that wanted to go down to St. Augustine and do some sidewalk evangelism. Never done that before. I'd never done that before. So on the car ride down, let me tell you, there was a lot of what ifs flying. And on the walk from the car to the spot we set up at, a lot of what ifs flying. I can only imagine poor John and Jay answering a million questions. What ifs? So, yesterday we talked about Moses and his who am I? Well, Moses had some what ifs too. So let's read through Exodus 4 and let's look at his what ifs. Moses answered and said, "But suppose they will not believe me or listen to my voice. Suppose they say, 'The Lord has not appeared to you.'" So the Lord said to him, "What is that in your hand?" So Moses was holding his staff. So just to kind of summarize this next chunk of passage, because it's a long chunk of passage, God tells Moses, lay your staff down. So he lays his staff down and it becomes a serpent. So, of course, Moses jumps back because he's like, whoa, wait a minute, that was my staff. It's a snake now. What's up with that? The Lord tells him, reach out and grab his tail. Grabs the tail of the serpent and it becomes a staff again. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, that's some pretty amazing stuff. I'm glad I got you on I'm glad you're on my team. Then he tells him, take your hand and stick it in your bosom, because he's wearing a robe. Slides his hand into his bosom and his chest, inside the robe, pulls his hand out, and his hand is leprous and covered. Ashy white, leprous. Tells him, stick it back in. Now, that would freak me out. Wait a minute, that was a good hand a second ago. Sticks it back in his bosom, pulls it back out, it's healed. And then the Lord tells him, if they still don't believe that, because Moses said to him, Moses goes on and what ifs him again. And tells him, so take some water from the Nile and pour it down and it shall be as blood. So 3 signs that God's with him. And again, remember what he said yesterday, just to recap. I am who I am. Tell them the I am sent you. I am the great I am. So, what's Moses' response to these 3 miracles? And knowing that he's got God with him, and hey, I can do everything. I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. What's Moses' response to this? Oh my Lord, I'm not eloquent, neither before nor since you have spoken to your servant, but I am slow of speech and slow of tongue. God's like, really? Who made your tongue? Who made you? He says, so the Lord says, who has made man's mouth? Or who makes the mute, or the deaf, the seeing, or the blind? Have not I the Lord? Now therefore go, and I will be with your mouth, and teach you what you shall say. Well, guys, to be personal, every morning before I sit in this spot, it's what I ask God. It's my prayers. Lord, move me out of the way so that you can speak to whoever you need to speak to. Whoever you need to see this message, whoever you need to hear this message, it's your message you're delivering. Allow me to move out of your way. Allow me to be nimble-footed and get out of your way. But that's not Moses' response. I can't do this. I'm not eloquent of speech. And then after God tells him that, what's Moses' further response? I think that Abram was my favorite character in the Bible. I think that it's Moses. Oh my Lord, please send by the hand of whomever else you may send. It's like, after all that, he's like, don't send me, Lord. Like, don't send me. And this is the response I love. This is where God shows his character. This is where God shows his personality. So the anger of the Lord was kindled. Even God was like, really? How many times do I have to show you that I've got your back? And you continue to question me. Every single time I show you, I've got your back. What are you doing? What if? What if? You know what, guys? What ifs, and I want you to hear this. Let this sink in. What ifs are, when we use what ifs, we're more worried about the response of those around us than we are about our response to God. When God's sending us and we're asking him, what if? And we're questioning why he's sending us or where he's sending us, we're more worried about the response of those that he's sending us to than our response to his command. Yeah. Think about that. Let that sink in. When you ask what if, when God sends you to do something, or when God sends you to talk to somebody, when you what if, you're more worried about that person that you're going to talk to. What if they call me a Bible thumper? What if they call me a Jesus freak? Oh, what if? In my world, both of those are, I wouldn't say they're compliments, but, I do love Jesus. And he is my number one. So when he tells me to go do something, I'm going to go do it. I told him long ago and far away, he has my every yes before he ever asks. So when he says go, I'm going to go. That's why he's made me the way he is. So, Leah will tell you, she says a lot that I've never met a stranger. I can pretty much go talk to anybody. Why do you think God made me that way? I start to see all of that now. But, here's a comforting thought with those what ifs. When we're asking those what ifs, this is a comforting response to that should quell those what ifs. And this kind of goes to what I was just talking about. So 2 Peter 1:3 says, as his divine power has given to us all things that pertain to life and godliness, through the knowledge of him who called us by glory and virtue. So he's given us everything we need for life and for godliness. He's already equipped us with everything we need. So the what ifs are, am I missing something out of my toolbox? God's like, no, man, your toolbox is full. And it's all brand new tools. High quality stuff. You got the best in your toolbox. You're good. Just go use your tools. I'm going to leave that thought with you today. How are you managing your tools? How are you managing your gifts? Are you stewarding those gifts? Or are you asking what if? Before you ever pick a tool out of the toolbox, are you asking what if? Think about that. Love you guys. Guys, have an amazing Thursday. It's a hump day. We'll be back tomorrow.